Your favorite radio station presents a holiday classic.
Attaboy, Clarence.
The 23rd anniversary edition of Christmas on the Radio.
God bless us, everyone.
Now the 2022 edition of Christmas on the Radio with your host, Wyatt Cox.
One would not think about crime at Christmas time, and thus we go to a program called Broadway-is-my-beat, starring Larry Thor, about Detective Danny Clover, who's a member of the New York City Police Department. This episode was originally broadcast Christmas Eve 1949. It's entitled Norman and Santa Claus, from 73 years ago.
Broadway-is-my-beat, from Times Square to Columbus Circle, the gaudiest, the most violent, the lonesomest mile in the world.
Broadway-is-my-beat, with Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover.
Broadway. On Christmas Eve, Broadway's natives dance their Christmas dance to the music of carols flowing out of tinseled loudspeakers. The kids mash their noses against plate glass, lick it, and watch the mechanical clown, the mechanized tour army, the tin man dancing a jig on a tin box. And their eyes are dark with desire and hunger. They make a wish on a neon star. That's how it is on Christmas Eve on Broadway. My beat. On the morning of the day before Christmas, creatures are stirring at police headquarters. There's the patter of tired feet and the sound of manly giggles as little gifts are hidden in desk drawers or poured into Dixie cups or slipped under the police blotter. And in my office, there's a kid I knew, name of Marty Wednick.
Danny, I don't like to disturb you at this unmentionable hour.
10 o'clock in the morning, unmentionable?
You kidding? Sleep has not yet fled from my starry eyes. What makes me bounce from my pillow at an hour which is for the squares is a problem.
What's your problem, Marty?
Am I or am I not the child president of your branch of the Police Athletic League?
You are?
So I promised my constituency of fellow former delinquents a Santa Claus for Christmas. That's the problem. When are you gonna give with a Santa Claus? Don't laugh, Danny. A former delinquent shouldn't be disillusioned. Could make him a neurotic. So I repeat, on behalf of my constituents, where is Santa Claus?
He'll be here in a minute, Marty. Sergeant Tartaglia... Oh, here he is. Come on in, Sergeant.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what
This
fun.
guy's a sergeant?
Huh?
Hey, Tartaglia, this is Marty Wednick. He wants Santa Claus.
Oh, he's coming, Danny, he's coming. Come on in, Sandy. Everybody, make way, everybody, for Santa Claus.
And what's your alias, name, little boy? Ho, ho, ha. Hey.
This guy's a Santa Claus.
Who's the kid? The punk, Danny. Who is he?
Marty Wednick, that's who I am. So you're Santa Claus, huh? Audition me something.
What? Why, you crummy
Take
little...
your hands off me, Santa Claus. Is this the Christmas spirit?
I'll give it to you in the mouth, fresh kid.
You and how many reindeers?
Wait a minute, you two. Marty, this is Nick Norman.
Nick Norman, the ex-con?
How do you like this monster? For 15 years, I've been playing Santa Claus at Sing Sing with no complaints, mind you. The first day I am a free civilian playing me old part, the squirt gives me the hook. I resigned from Santa Claus. I didn't get treatment like this even from the guards.
Take it easy, Nick. Marty didn't mean it. Did you, Marty?
How was I to know that Santa Claus here was the world-famous light-fingered safecracker?
Ex-light-fingered, world-famous safecracker, you.
Well, does he meet with your approval, Marty?
Well, the costume is sloppy, the beard's moth-eaten, but yeah, he'll do.
Don't do me no favors, punk.
You want to know something, Nick?
What's something?
I like you. I think you are the best Santa Claus it has ever been my privilege to present to my constituents of the P.A.L. This is from the heart, Nick.
Oh, that's better. You gotta show respect for Santa Claus. What time's your party?
8 o'clock tonight. You'll be there?
I'll be there.
Well, so long, Danny, Sergeant, Santa Claus. See you at the party. Merry Christmas.
That's a good kid. Appreciates the finer things.
Feels good to be out, huh, Nick?
15 years is a long night without sleep, Danny. Yeah, feels good. And thanks for the job as Santa Claus. I would miss it after all these years.
And the deal we made. That feels good, too, huh?
The deal? Oh, yeah, the deal. Sure, Danny. I'll keep my promise to you.
That's good. You won't forget what happened 15 years ago on Christmas Eve.
How can I forget? It was like today. I was all dressed up like Santa Claus. I had a few idle hours, and right in front of me there just happened to be an idle safe. So I cracked it. So I got caught.
Uh-huh. Now, what are you going to do now, between now and 8 o'clock, the time the party starts?
Walk the thoroughfares and wish everybody joyous tidings and pat kids on the head.
And leave their mothers' purses alone.
Oh, Danny, how can you talk to Santa Claus that way? I promised you that...
Sure you did. Hey, Tartaglia.
Yeah, Danny.
Tag along with Santa Claus. Fresh air will do you both good.
Oh, gee, thanks, Danny, thanks. You know, the fresh air will do us both good.
Yeah, but hold his hand, Tartaglia, so he won't get lost. We don't want him to get lost, do we?
Oh, no, Danny.
No, because what's Christmas without Santa Claus? Have fun, boys. So everybody was happy, and that was good, because it was the season for it. Sergeant Tartaglia was happy because I had not only given him permission to leave the room, I'd told him to go out and take a walk with Santa Claus. And everyone knows that Santa Claus is always happy, even if once upon a time he had to spread his glad tidings around Sing Sing. I considered it a while, and then I decided to inhale the bloom of Christmas as it filtered through police headquarters. And it made me feel happy, too. It lasted for 2 inhales.
The sign on the door says Lieutenant Danny Clover. I don't believe in signs. What's your name?
What's yours?
I came prepared for a question like that. Here's my card.
Thanks. Simon Larrabee, real estate and rentals. You renting something, Mr. Larrabee?
That would give you the upper hand. 2 questions to my 1. And you haven't answered it yet.
Danny Clover, like the sign says. That's my name.
You're quite right. I am renting something.
Go ahead. Rent away. I like to watch.
I'm doing it now. Just looking at you. I'm renting that property known as the Warehouse at 2290 East Grand Street.
Well, if it makes you happy... Wait a minute. That's our clubhouse. That's where the kids are having our Christmas party.
Are you?
What's the...
What else can it be? Where's the rent?
Rent for what?
Rent for that property known as the Warehouse at 2290 East Grand Street.
You mean it hasn't been paid? How much is it?
It's $62.50 a month. Oh, that includes utilities.
I'll pay it. The club's treasurer will reimburse me.
You don't understand, Mr. Clever. When I rent something, I get a year's rent in advance. That comes to $750. And I want it before there's any party there.
Are you kidding? Why are those kids going to get money like that?
Oh, well, I'll give you until 8 o'clock to get the money, and I'll just sit right here until then.
All right. Grab yourself a police gazette.
Never touch the stuff.
Suit yourself. Oh, excuse me, Simon. Danny Clover speaking.
Danny, this is Patrolman Curcio.
Yeah, what is it? I can hardly hear you, Curcio.
Yeah, well, no wonder. Listen what I gotta talk through. Listen, Danny. Hey, you see what I mean?
Why the sirens? What's the trouble?
Sergeant Tartaglia is up a tree.
What?
Sergeant Tartaglia is in a tree on the Avenue 8 playground, Danny. He flipped his lid. He's telling anyone that'll listen that there ain't no Santa Claus. Hey, you better come on down, Danny.
When I got down to the Avenue A playground, it was having the Christmas party of its life. A 30-foot tree, complete with tinsel, candy canes, colored popcorn balls, firemen, and a scared sergeant policeman, forlorn and lost, pinned to its top branch. The fire department finally convinced Tartaglia that a ladder was a safe invention for getting down out of tall trees. At the bottom rung, he almost believed it. When his feet touched the ground, they gave him a blanket because he was suffering from shock. He was about to tell the newsreel boys his ordeal when I faced him.
Oh, Danny, I was about to tell the newsreel boys my ordeal.
Oh, just tell me first, Tartaglia, because I hardly ever get to the movies.
I'll be with you in just a minute, sir. Oh, Danny, it was awful. It was something awful.
I only ask this because there's so much about you I don't know, Tartaglia. Why do you climb trees?
Oh, I don't, Danny. The height scares me. When I was a child, a tree threw me on the ground.
Still, you climb this tree. Why?
Oh, because I'm a policeman.
That makes sense. But how?
Well, sure it does, Danny. The kids see me, I am a policeman. They need to put a star on top of their Christmas tree. They ask me because I am a policeman and can do such things. I couldn't let the department down, Danny.
So you leave Nick Norman alone, all by himself, because you don't want to let the department down.
Oh, I knew you would say that. But I trusted Nick, because he is Santa Claus. He told me I could trust him.
Sure you can, Tartaglia. But what happened to Santa Claus? He's not around.
That's right. There ain't no Santa Claus, like I've been saying.
They told me you were saying that. What happened to him, Tartaglia?
Well, Danny, whilst I was up in the tree pinning the star, below me I saw a big black bulletproof sedan.
What kind?
A big black bulletproof sedan.
Now I know. Then what happened?
Well, this big black bulletproof sedan stopped by Nick, our Santa Claus. 2 men got out, talked to him for a minute. then took them one by each arm, deposited them in the car, closed the door, and away they sped, careening on two wheels. I yelled to them to stop, Danny, but I guess they didn't hear me on account of the hustle and bustle.
Our Santa Claus, Tartaglia. Where is he? Where'd he go?
Well, if I was Santa Claus, I know where I'd go.
Not that it matters, but where?
Well, to my mother. On Christmas Eve, she deserves something like that.
I'm sure she does.
Well, we have you now, Sergeant Tartaglia.
Oh, make good in the newsreels, Tartaglia. This may be your big chance.
Yeah?
Are you Mrs. Norman?
Why?
I'm Danny Clover.
Yeah?
May I come in, Mrs. Norman?
Why?
I want to talk to you.
About what?
About Nick, about your son.
Come in.
Thanks.
In here, in the parlor. Sit down.
Thank you.
No, not on that seat, that one. What do you want to talk about Nick?
Do you know where he is?
No, you don't tell me no more. One day when he was 9 years old, Nick said to me, he said, Ma, don't ask me where I've been no more, 'cause I'll lie to you. That's what he said.
Then you don't know where he is.
Don't make me go through that again, Sonny. Say, who are you to ask me questions?
I told you I was...
Yeah, you did. You said you're Danny Clover. That don't mean nothing to me. Oh... You must be the guy come about,
I am. That's why I came.
Well, you tell me what you come here for.
For, you know, just as you said.
Oh, this I like. This lets me play cagey like in the old days. What are you talking about?
You know your son, Nick.
You gotta squirm more than that, kiddo. What about Nick?
We want him to be our Santa Claus.
Bingo.
That's good.
Oh, it must be a good feeling, a young man like you. Big, strong, looking for Santa Claus. Me? I just sat here in my rocking chair.
Mrs. Norman.
Thinking about the times we had, me and Big Ed, my husband. The time...
I have to go now, Mrs. Norman. Where's your son?
Oh... You made me go through it again. One day, when he was 9 years old, Nick said to me...
Yeah, well, thanks,
Ma,
Mrs. Norman.
don't ask me where I've been.
Hi, Danny. Did you find Santa Claus?
No, Tartaglia. What are you doing about it?
Me? Nothing.
That's good. Anyone to see me?
Yeah, in your office. Hey, Danny, what are you angry at me for, huh, Danny?
Hey, Danny, what's this I hear about Santa Claus taking a powder?
You'll get your Santa Claus, Marty. You still here, Simon Larrabee?
Yes, I'm waiting. Just as I told you, I'm waiting for my $750 rent.
Can you imagine this kind of Danny? On Christmas Eve, he wants his rent. This is a Christmas, no Santa Claus, no party. What am I going to tell my constituents?
It'll work out, Marty. We'll get the money someplace.
By 8 o'clock, Mr. Clover.
Oh, shut up, Simon.
But, Danny, no Santa Claus.
Hold it, everybody. I got the solution. Communications, this is Sergeant Tartaglia in Danny Clover's office. An all-points bulletin. Pickup man. Description as follows. Height, 5 feet 11. Weight, 235. When last seen was wearing a red suit, a red hat with bells, and black boots. Identifying marks. Has a long, snow-white beard. What's his name? Santa Claus.
You are listening to Broadway's My Beat, starring Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover.
From 73 years ago, December 24th, 1949, Broadway is My Beat. Here on Christmas on the Radio. We'll continue in just about a minute. Brought to you in part by MediShare.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. Medishare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join Medishare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
I'm Wyatt Cox. You're listening to Christmas on the Radio. Now, from 73 years ago, December 24th, 1949, Larry Thor, Broadway is My Beat.
Broadway brings you Christmas in a lot of ways. You get dribbled around by the opposing teams of last-minute shoppers. You ride backwards on up escalators so you can be in a good position for the down escalators. You get mauled and shoved and picked over. And finally, you get gift-wrapped and sent on your way. My way was out to lunch and back to police headquarters, holding my Christmas stocking in my hand. I had two things, no rent and no Santa Claus. Two nothings which made for an empty holiday. Sergeant Tartaglia wasn't enjoying himself either, and he expressed himself with sentiment.
Ah, humbug.
What did you say, Tartaglia?
Bah, humbug, Danny. That's a Christmas expression I picked up to be used when you wished it was the 4th of July instead.
Yeah, me too.
You seen the afternoon papers, Danny? Yeah, take a look at it.
You look at it for me. What does it say?
Oh, first it has got a picture on the front page of a tree. In the tree is me.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says under it, Officer Gino Tartaglia. Yeah, hey, Danny, they spelled it right. Well, Officer Tartaglia spent the afternoon cavorting in a tree to the delight and applause of all the little... Well, it runs on like that.
Oh, forget it. It wasn't your fault.
Then that's what I tried to tell Mrs. Tartaglia.
Doesn't she believe you?
Danny, she called me on the phone. I said, hello? She said, Signal Tarzan. Then she started laughing, hysterical. I can't get her to talk. Every time I pick up my phone, all I hear is Mrs. Tartaglia laughing.
I got my problems, too.
Yeah, this is probably the first time in the history of Santa Claus that he's ever heisted from his appointed rounds.
Maybe. Hey, did you get in touch with Nick's mother again, like I told you?
Oh, Danny, she ain't nowhere to be found. The old day must have skipped. And the 200 Santa Clauses that the boys investigated, not one of these is Nick Norman under the beard. Oh, I'll get it, Danny.
Thanks.
Sergeant Tartaglia. Huh? Yeah, he's here. It's for you, Danny.
Thank you. Danny Clover speaking.
Danny, this is Maxie. You know, Maxine Riddell.
Yeah, how are you, Maxie?
I'm in lingerie, Danny. Come on down.
What?
In the lingerie department at Fletcher's department store. Working. I got news for you. News about Nick Norman. You interested, Danny?
Yeah, I am. Hold on to everything, Maxie. I'll be right down.
Here, mister. Take this black nightgown over to that girl over there. She'll gift wrap it up. Hi, Danny. How am I doing?
Great, Maxie. Only great. How long you been working here?
Only for the Christmas season, Danny. But the way I've been operating, I think maybe they'll keep me on.
No questions about your background?
You mean about me being a shoplifter?
Uh-huh.
That's the reason I got the job. The way I was lifting things, I told them it'd be cheaper for them if they put me on the sales force. So they did. So for $22 a week, I'm an honest mouse. Anyway, it's steady.
Keep it that way, huh, Maxie?
Anything you say, Danny. Well, now that we've had our tea, I guess you want to know about Nick.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart to be a stoolie. You know how it is, Danny. Me with my former alliances.
But it's different now.
Yeah, different. I want it to be different for Tussie, too. You remember how it was between me and Tussie.
How was it?
It was gorgeous. That's why I'm being a pigeon, Danny. If Nick made up his mind to be a kosher citizen, he should stick to it. Not fall back into the arms of a mob like a doll who says mama.
Which mob, Maxie?
Tussie Cons. Such a name for a gorilla. Tussie. How do you figure a name like that?
I don't know him. Where do I find him?
Tussie just got back from Chicago. He bought the Domino Club. I happened to be passing there on my lunch hour, and I saw Nick in a Santa Claus suit drinking grape juice with Tussie. Oh, excuse me, Danny, a customer. Yes, madam. Something for yourself.
Thanks, Maxie.
For what? We have some gorgeous outside girdles, Madam, for everyday wear. They're right over here.
The Domino Club in the West 50s is a bright and shiny joint plastered with black glass. It stands close to the ground between two peeling brownstones. When you walk into it, you have the feeling you're walking into the mouth of a beetle. Its walls are lined with black mirrors, and its ceiling is draped with folds of scarlet silk. And at 6 o'clock of a Christmas Eve, the boys, complete with Christmas-wrapped girls, are beginning to gather. You ask a busboy in white tie and tails, where's Tussie Carnes? And he lifts an eyebrow to a guy standing near the bandstand. A guy grinning like an alley cat, while a girl pins a sprig of mistletoe to his lapel. You wait till she kisses Tussie. Then Tussie kisses her. But his eyes are open and flicking around the joint, so he sees you and pushes the girl away.
Beat it, Blitzen, I got company. Merry Christmas, stranger. You want something from Tussie boy?
Same to you. And I want Nick Norman.
Oh, that's a big desire on a holiday. What you want, Nick? Tell Tussie boy.
Maybe I gotta explain. I'm Danny Clover, a cop. I want him.
Don't everybody? Come with me, Sonny. Santa's right down at the end of this hallway. Merry Christmas, Melvin.
Ain't it, though, Tussie?
Merry Christmas, George.
Likewise, I'm sure.
I brought you a present, boys.
Goody.
Likewise.
Where's Nick Norman?
This fella here, he says to Tussie boy he wants Nick Norman, our Santa Claus.
Uh-oh. What big eyes you have, mister.
And you know something else that's plain precious, boys?
No. Do tell us, Tussie.
The fella says he is a cop. Isn't that cute, huh?
I could die.
Yeah. So show the fella Santa Claus, huh, fellas? Merry Christmas, Danny Clover. Oh, Tussie boy said that, didn't he?
Stay away from me.
But first we want to wish you on a star. Like that.
Are you too crazy? Stay away from me.
I think that was not enough stars. I'll give him another package.
You know that Tussie's good to us. He gave us the best Christmas present two fellas could ever have.
Don't be greedy, Melvin. Leave some for me. Oh, look at that. It's all gone.
Come on, Danny, open your eyes.
What?
Yeah, open your eyes, Danny. It's getting late. Ain't you heard? Christmas is coming.
Hey, it's you, Nick Norman.
Oh, Danny, call me Sandy Claus. That's the nicest alias I got.
Now, look, Nick, I'm going to...
Oh, here, I'll help you up, Danny. Yeah, sit on the edge of the sofa there. Yeah. Santa Claus, Danny.
Santa Claus, huh?
Sure.
So help me, Nick, where I'm going to put you, you'll spend the next 94 Christmases in solitary.
Take it easy, Danny. Come on, let's get out of here. I'll be late for that kid's party. Come on.
You mean let's get out of here just like that? I don't have to beat my way out of here?
What for?
What for, indeed. Christmas Eve 1949, Broadway is my beat. You're listening to Christmas on the Radio on your favorite radio station. The conclusion follows these words.
Christmas on the Radio continues, now with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Now the conclusion of Broadway is My Beat, starring Larry Thor. Going back 73 years, December 24th, 1949.
What's all this about, Nick, Santa Claus?
You adult today, Danny. What's the matter with you?
But you were kidnapped.
Kidnapped? Me? Who would want to do a thing like that to jolly old me?
A man in a tree said two guys pushed you into a car. He only had a bird's eye view, but he said kidnapped.
You mean Melvin and George?
I mean Melvin and George.
Two pals from Chicago, Daddy. They heard I was out and wanted I should be Santa Claus to a private party they was giving. That's all. Harmless guys, pals, buddies. We enjoy each other.
Yeah, they enjoyed me, too.
Before they left town for this party, they said to tell you... Oh, wait a minute, I wrote it down. It says, Dear Danny Clover, sorry we made a mistake and beat up your head. May the bells ring a joyous Noel for you. Signed, XX. That's Melvin and George.
A mistake, huh?
Sure. They knew some mob or other might try to get me as Santa Claus. They figured you was a mob, so they protected me from you, like you was fibbing about being a cop. After they walloped you unconscious, they went through your pockets and saw you was really a cop. So they wrote this note. The running ink you see here on the note, Danny, that's tears. You'll forgive him, won't you, Danny?
Yeah. How about your mother?
Well, that was your error, Danny. You didn't tell Mom you was from the police, so she thought just like Melvin and George.
Gave me the double talk.
Yeah, that's my mom. A grand old dame. You know what I told her once when I was 9 years old?
Yeah, my sleigh's outside. I'll give you a ride back to my office.
Well, that means the whole thing was an error in identification and motive, as they say, huh, Danny?
That's right. Isn't that right, Santa?
Sure. I'll tell it to you again if you want.
No, never mind. What happened to Simon Larrabee?
Oh, he went out for a feast of spud nuts and coffee.
Hey, you don't look very happy, Tartaglia.
No, Danny. I ain't happy. Unhappy. Very.
What's the matter? We've got Santa Claus? Come on, smile. It's going to be a fine Christmas.
I can't, Danny. I just can't. It's Mrs. Tartaglia. Yeah, now she ain't laughing anymore. The neighbors are laughing and Mrs. Tartaglia is crying.
Why?
Well, the later editions of the paper said that Santa Claus was heisted. It was because I was in a tree. Yeah, the papers say I, single-handed, messed up Christmas.
Bad as that, huh? Well, I'll tell you, Tartaglia.
Hey, what about my Christmas party?
Not yet, Santa. Wait till you get to the party.
Say, the press was saying that you were snatched, Sandy. What gives? It said that mobsters grabbed you.
Nah, it was just a little misunderstanding.
That's right, Marty. Nick was grabbed by mobsters.
Huh?
Yeah, well, then how'd you get away?
Sergeant Tartaglia.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. Sergeant Tartaglia. The kind of policeman who tracks down criminals to the lair.
I am, Danny?
The kind that single-handed rescued Santa Claus from the jaws of disaster.
This guy did that?
Yep. I'm just about to call the press boys and tell them about it.
Oh, Danny.
I mean it, Tartaglia. Don't be so modest. I'm going to do just that.
Danny.
Put Marty in a cab, Tartaglia. I'll send Santa down the squad car in a little while.
Yeah, sure. Well, come on, little tyke. Marty.
Okay. Merry Christmas, Danny.
Whatever you tell the press guys, Danny, I'll swear to it.
Sure you will.
That's a fine Christmas you're giving everybody, Danny. How about yourself?
Oh, I'll have fun at the party. I always do.
Where is it? Where's my money?
Oh, look, Mr. Larrabee, it's Christmas.
Of course it's Christmas. That's why I want my rent, so I can have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, Danny, who is this guy that needs rent to have a Merry Christmas?
This is Simon Larrabee. He wants a year's rent in advance for that warehouse where the kids are having their party. Or else, no party.
Yes, that's who I am.
Oh, like that, huh? So that's how you are, huh, Simon?
Stop breathing in my face, Santa Claus.
All them kids wanting to have a party, and a Simon like you wants to louse it up.
I'll put him down, Nick.
Yes,
I ain't doing nothing, Danny. Just holding Simon up so I can breathe in his face.
Please.
I want you to think about something, Simon. Think about all those kids that are looking forward to their Christmas party, which ain't gonna happen on account of you. Think about it.
All right, I'm thinking, yes.
Maybe you could think better with a pen in your hand, Simon.
Yes,
a pen that will write out a receipt for a year's rent in advance, huh, Simon?
Of course. Oh, Christmas spirit and all that. Yes, I'll get my receipt book. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Well, I haven't felt so good in years. Yes, here you are, Mr. Glover. A receipt for a year's rent in advance. And tell the darlings, Merry Christmas with this.
Yeah, I will.
Ain't he a nice fella, Danny? Come on, nice fella. I'll take you to a party. Merry Christmas, Danny.
It's a Merry Christmas, Danny.
Merry Christmas. Yeah. Merry Christmas. On Christmas Eve, Broadway is almost like any other place in the world. The bells ring out, the horns blow, there's laughter. And the Mazdas on the Translux spell out slowly, word by word, peace on earth, goodwill to men. And you read it, you believe it. Because on Christmas Eve, You believe a miracle. Then a whirl of confetti is in your eyes, and you're pushed along with the crowd, and you never see the next news bulletin. You don't try to look back. It's Broadway, the merriest, the shiniest, the lonesomest mile in the world. Broadway, my beat.
Broadway's My Beat stars Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover and is written by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The musical score was composed by Alexander Courage and conducted by Wilbur Hatch, and the program was produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. The cast tonight included Charles Calvert, Gil Stratton Jr., Howard McNear, Hal March, Bert Holland, Shep Menken, Estelle Dodge, and Peggy Weber.
From December 24th, 1949, 73 years ago, Broadway is My Beat. You're listening to Christmas on the Radio. We'll be back in just 1 minute.
And here's the Cinnamon Bear.
The oldest known children's Christmas serial in radio history, The Cinnamon Bear, featuring some of the most popular actors in radio history, including Elliott Lewis, Joseph Kearns, Verna Felton, Lou Merrill, Frank Nelson, Howard McNear, and child actress Barbara Jean Wong. 85 years later, this series of Judy and Jimmy traveling to Maybeland to recover their silver stars still fascinates youngsters of all ages. Now we're offering the entire 26-episode series of The Cinnamon Bear via download for a Buy Me a Coffee donation of $10 or more at classicradio.stream. Support Classic Radio Theater and have The Cinnamon Bear for your family to enjoy for years to come. Go to classicradio.stream and donate $10 or more, and I'll send you a link for immediate download. classicradio.stream. On our regular daily program, we occasionally air excerpts from a program called The Couple Next Door. It was written by Peg-Lynch. She originally wrote The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert. And we're going to hear a Christmas episode of that program today, The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert, starring Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce, from December 9th, 1947.
The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert, starring Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce. The big events in one's life occur only every now and then, but there are some smaller events in everyday life that are familiar to every family. And it's these daily life incidents that make up the private lives of Ethel and Albert. We'll hear from Ethel and Albert in just a moment. The other day on Main Street, two neighbors were vigorously criticizing a bill that had recently been passed by Congress. The two friends violently objected to certain provisions of the measure. Now, this particular incident doesn't seem unusual to us. It seems perfectly natural that we are free to say exactly what we think here in America, and it would seem unreal and frightening if the two men had been hauled into jail and knocked around for daring to criticize an act of the government. That wouldn't have been the American way of life. Our freedom of speech is only one of the rights we enjoy here in the United States. There are many, many others. But as a nation, do we really appreciate them, or do we merely accept them? From childhood, we learn that ours is a wonderful country. We read the Bill of Rights, the other great documents of freedom. But this is what often happens. We accept these individual rights and liberties, forget that they were hard won, and that in order to keep this way of life, we must work hard and defend it. The heritage of America goes back a long way. It's had a long and arduous history. This year marks the 160th anniversary of our Constitution. And to mark the event, a special train, the Freedom Train, will carry it and many other original documents throughout the country. Visit the Freedom Train and feel proud. Then work to defend your American heritage. Freedom is everybody's job. And now, Ethel and Albert. It's evening in the Arbuckle household, and we find Albert reading the paper in the living room. Ethel is out in the hall trying to wrap up a Christmas present.
Did you read this? Honey?
Oh, darling, what? No, dear, I don't think so. I don't know. What is wrong here?
Honey, they're fixing over the old Viking Lodge. It's going to be a hangout for the skiers.
Oh,
Honey?
Anyway.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wrap up a Christmas package that must be mailed, and I'm just going crazy. Can you please tell me why they don't make any Christmas paper just a bit wider? I can't wrap this up as a present. It looks awful. Best thing I can do is just put a bright red ribbon around it.
No.
Honest.
No. What is the trouble? What is the trouble, my little chickadee?
Oh, your little chickadee has been struggling to wrap up this hassock while you just sit over there and read the paper.
I haven't even seen you. I was so busy reading the paper, honey. Now, let's see. What is the trouble? Let Albert get in here on this. What is this thing?
It's a hassock, an ottoman, whatever you want to call it. It's for Aunt Bertha for Christmas. I've got to get it mailed off to her.
Aunt Bertha? Why an ottoman?
Well, it's what she wanted. Besides, you and I discussed all this. Now, we went through that, Albert, whether we should get it or not.
We did?
Yes, dear, you probably weren't listening, but we did, and we voted, you and I, unanimously, to get a hassock for Aunt Bertha.
Did you try to influence my vote?
No, I did not. I got it, and it's got to be wrapped up and mailed to her now.
Well, honey, why didn't you have the store mail it?
Well, I didn't think. I bought it, and I had the man put it in the car. I was so busy shopping, and I couldn't think of everything. Anyhow, here it is. It's got to be wrapped and mailed now.
Oh, well, honey, you're certainly not going to wrap it up that way.
What way?
Well, didn't it come in a box?
No.
No box?
No, dear. It just had some heavy wrapping paper around. I got it at that furniture store near the telephone office.
Oh, yeah. Well, honey, you got to have a box.
Oh, I don't know if that's necessary, Albert. It isn't as though this could get broken after all. I thought that if we
Dear,
just wrapped it around...
It's going to be mailed, and it will have to be put in a good, strong box.
Well, we don't have any box that will fit.
Well, we must have something.
Well, we don't. I looked in the basement and in the attic and all over. Look how big a box we need. One that was at least 3 feet square or something.
No. Maybe not quite.
Makes me so mad. I save boxes and paper and cord and string all year long. It accumulates everywhere. I even save all the packing stuff, all that paper excelsior. What happens when I do need a box? Not one that I've saved all year long is the right size.
Well, honey, this cannot be mailed without putting it in a strong, corrugated box.
Well, I don't know where we're going to get one.
Well, we must have something up in the attic.
I don't know. I didn't find anything.
Did you go up in the attic and look?
Yes.
You did not.
Well, Albert, I know there's no corrugated box up there we can use for this. If there is one, it's got stuff in it now.
Oh, well, I'll go look. I know you didn't go.
What about Christmas wrapping it?
Honey, do as you said. It's a nice dark green hassock. Tie a bright red ribbon around it.
Well, it ought to be a fairly wide red ribbon, and I think the widest one I have is from last year, and I think it's kind of frayed.
Afraid of what, honey?
Silly.
Well, honey, you must have some more red ribbon or
Well,
something.
I've got this piece. Hold the hassock up a minute. Let me see how this works.
All right. All right, there.
I think the ribbon ought to go around both ways, don't you?
Oh, sure. Don't be skimpy.
Yeah, hold it up now. Hold it up. It doesn't reach.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know? 2 ends just meet.
Well, put it around just once.
Oh, that doesn't look very nice. Do you think just once? Here. Hold it up. Right here. No.
Oh, well. Look, honey, don't give up. Find some other ribbon while I'm up in the attic.
Now, listen, there's no box up there that isn't all packed with stuff, Albert.
I'll find something, honey. You'll be looking for some ribbon and some cord to wrap up the box with.
All right. Now, let's see. Where's some wide ribbon that I can...
I got a box.
Albert!
Yeah, this one'll work.
Where did you find that?
Up in the attic.
I know, but what did you take out of it?
Oh, just some junk. Now.
What did you do with the stuff you took out?
It's up in the attic. It's okay.
Did you just leave it on the floor?
No, I set stuff on the trunk and around, around.
And I spent an hour getting that box packed with those things, those draperies and pillows, so carefully and with mothballs in there. Now, you've just tossed them out, probably on the dirty attic floor.
Attic floor shouldn't be dirty. It's dirty. It should be clean.
Then supposing you get up there next Saturday afternoon and just clean the floor.
Where's the cord and wrapping paper now?
What cord?
Well, we got to put wrapping paper and cord around the outside of this box.
Well, I suppose we can use the wrapping paper they sent it in out from the store.
What, this?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's not going to be big enough to wrap around the box.
And it's probably the largest piece of wrapping paper we have, Albert.
Well, honey, look on the broom closet shelf there. We got lots of paper up there.
We don't have any really large pieces of heavy wrapping paper, Albert.
Well, we're always saving it.
I can't help it. Look over the supply yourself.
Well,
There's
find some
nothing
cord
there.
then while I slip the ottoman in the box here and pack some paper in around it.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, boy. This is some job.
Find any cord, Albert. Where's that heavy cord we saved?
Do I?
Where is the heavy cord?
I don't know. Oh, what did you buy such a big one for?
Big one, dear.
Big hassock. This ottoman, whatever you want to call it, the big guy.
It's only $1 more than the smaller one.
Well, wouldn't the smaller one have been easier to send?
It wasn't that much smaller. Where's the heavy cord?
Heavy cord's in the kitchen drawer.
No, it isn't.
Well, I don't know. I better... I got some stuffed paper around this. If you'd had any sense, you'd have had this sent right out from the store. I don't know what gets into you anyway, Ethel. It would have been so much easier.
This is the only cord that I could find out there anyway. Here.
Oh, honey.
It is the only cord in the kitchen drawer.
Look, there must be other cord. We've been saving it all year long. Look, why don't we take it back to the store tomorrow and have them send it out?
No, it's got to be mailed tomorrow or she won't get it by Christmas. There have been notices in the paper from the post office. Get your packages and cards in now if you want them received by Christmas.
Well, you can't send this parcel post, you know.
Why not?
Post is too big.
Oh, I don't think the size matters.
Well, you don't think. You got another thing coming then because the size does matter.
I don't think you're right about that, Albert. Now I know.
I know I'm right. This is going to have to go by express. You'll have to call the express company.
Well, it is not too big to go parcel post. I'm sure.
All right.
But if I send it down...
You're always so right. Now, go ahead. Go on. Take it down to the post office. Stand in line.
Well, I shall just tell them that I have sent many large packages parcel post, and if they think...
That's right, honey. You just tell them down at the post office. You just give them a piece of your mind.
Well, I know I've sent boxes as big as this one parcel post.
No, you haven't, sweetheart.
Is it some new ruling or something?
No, dear, no. Where's that list of postal regulations that I picked up at the post office one time? Where is it?
I don't know.
It's in the desk here someplace.
I don't think this brown wrapping paper is going to be nearly big enough. Albert?
Huh?
I don't think this is going to be big enough, do you?
Well, I'll just have to try it.
I've got to go around it.
Yeah, here it is.
Come here and help, Albert.
Yeah, wait a minute. Now, listen to this.
We're going to need another sheet of
That's
paper
all.
just as large and then somehow fasten them together. You see how this gap's here? Have we got any Scotch tape?
Yeah, somewhere. Listen, limit of size. Parcel post matter may not exceed 100 inches in length and girth combined. In measuring a parcel, the greatest distance in a straight line between the ends, but not around the parcel, is taken as its length, while the distance around the parcel at its thickest part is taken as its girth.
Oh, Albert.
For example, a parcel 35 inches long and 10 inches wide and 5 inches high measures 65 inches in length and girth combined. Oh, yeah, there, you see?
No, I don't see. Now, come on, let's get this wrapped up. I don't care how we send it, but let's get it wrapped up.
Well, we got to have much heavier cord, honey. You can't do anything until we find a heavier cord.
All right, I'll write the card that goes in it, and you find the cord. You know, I'm not going to be caught like this next year now.
Yeah,
I'm not.
where have I heard that before?
I know. Well, get the cord. Let's get this thing finished. Now, Christmas time. That's good.
Hold the paper.
I am.
I can't get the cord around if you...
Well, the paper isn't going to hold, and the cord isn't going to reach if you do it that way. Pull it around this way, Albert. It isn't going to work that way.
It isn't going to work wrapping it around that way.
You have no rhyme or reason about wrapping up a package, Albert. You could certainly never get a job in any wrapping department.
I am not planning on applying for a job in a wrapping department.
That's a good thing. The paper gaping right there. Albert, you can't leave it that way.
I don't intend
Honestly.
to... Grab that end there.
Yeah?
I don't intend to leave it that way. What do you think? Of course, I may be looking for a job in a wrapping department just to earn some extra money.
That corner is splitting right
My
over
wife
there.
is going to go throwing money away on such dumb fool things as
hassock?
Just a minute. You're the one who said your mother wrote in a letter Aunt Bertha wanted a hassock.
Well, what does Aunt Bertha want a hassock for?
Well, put her feet up on, I guess.
There, grab it. Get the cord over there. Now, hold that. Hold on.
I've only got 2 hands up.
Oh, really? I bought 3 gloves for you for Christmas. Well, I'll take one back, I guess.
Oh.
Grab it.
I've got it.
All right, now, tie the knot.
I can't. Here, wait a minute.
Put your thumb on it.
Oh, is it going to hold?
Well, I hope. Will you keep your thumb on it?
You yell at me once more.
Put your thumb on the cord and keep it there. No.
Yell. I'm so tired. I've done all the shopping anyhow. You haven't helped one bit.
All right. Take your thumb away now.
Buy something your Aunt Bertha really wants, and what happens? All I get from you are nasty remarks about money, and it just wouldn't seem...
Yeah, I think that's going to hold. Yeah, by golly, it is. What's the matter, honey? You catching cold?
Oh, it just would seem, Albert.
It would seem. Oh, she's so tired and cross, isn't she? Yeah, it's good.
Oh, now look, we left out the card.
Oh, no.
I'm always doing that.
No. Dear, remember the Christmas spirit.
The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert come to you each weekday at this time. The show is written by Peg-Lynch, who plays the part of Ethel. Albert is played by Alan Bunce. The program produced by Bob Cotton. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
From December 9th, 1947, The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert. And you have to admit, sounds like a married household, doesn't it? Thank you for making us a part of your day. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. Alrighty, we want to thank this radio station and support their advertisers for making it possible for us to be here. In many of these stations, we have another hour straight ahead. If you're with us, we look forward to the pleasure of your company. For those who are leaving us at this time, please accept our warmest wishes for a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2023.